Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I bring you the review of the Jetbeam E40R. The Jetbeam E40R is a compact 18650 EDC style flashlight, capable of high output and small size. And it's got a inbuilt USB charger. It looks really nice. It's got pretty much everything that you need. It comes with everything that you need. So why wouldn't you buy it? Actually, it is a really nice looking light, but let's get the review started. I literally just hung up my bed sheets and now it's freaking raining. Oh, always. Alright, just a disclaimer as usual. The light was supplied to me for review by GearBest, so I will leave a link in the description below. As usual, I think all of my reviews are pretty fair. This one will probably be the least fair out of all of them, because I am a very big fan of Jetbeam lights. So keep that in mind. Alright guys, so I hope that you can see the Jetbeam E40R good, because there is a lot of light coming in from outside. So here it is in front of us. First of all, as usual, we'll run over what it comes with. So you get the instructions, obviously. You get like Jetbeam warranty card and a certificate of approval. You do get a micro USB cable for the USB charging, 2 spare O-rings. You get a fancy lanyard. Does look pretty nice. Jetbeam. I've actually got a Jetbeam one that's on my phone. That won't focus, but that does say Jetbeam there. You do get the included lithium ion 18650. That's Jetbeam branded. It's a JL26. You know, they're okay. It's a very basic cell. I believe I got it with a headlamp that I bought from them like 2 years ago, and they're still giving out this cell with their light. I guess, you know, like, you can never have enough lithium ions anyway, so it's pretty cool that they include it. And you get a stainless steel clip. This clip actually sits over the battery tube, so you don't have to put it on and off and scratch your lights in the process, which is also a great feature. Alright, so usually I might not even show this in a review. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But that's the E40R there in the middle. That's my smallest headlamp that I own, smallest 18650 headlamp that I own, the Nightcore HC30, and that's pretty much my standard size Convoy S2 Plus that I show all the time when I want a fairly small compact 18650 flashlight. So as you can see, the E40R is a lot smaller than the Convoy S2 Plus, and pretty much on par with the HC30. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to add, it actually comes with a holster. I don't know how I forgot to add that, but yeah, the holster is really good quality. It seems a little bit too big actually for the E40R. So if we place it in here, like the Velcro, it grips okay. You got to kind of tear it to get it out. And it feels sturdy. It's like, it's a holster, I guess. It does say Jetbeam. It does actually have a pretty neat feature where you tuck the clip in here and the clip is still protected also. Never actually seen that on another holster. So yeah, all my Jetbeam lights that I own, besides the tiny EDC ones, come with holsters too. Alright guys, now we'll run over the specs, and after that we'll take it apart. There's not really much to see if we take it apart. So basically, the Jetbeam E40R is using a Luminus SST40. So those of you who don't know LEDs, you probably won't know much about Luminus. You're probably used to buying flashlights with Cree LEDs. This Luminus SST40 is the real deal. Luminus is a fairly big LED manufacturer, probably on par with Cree. They make all sorts of LEDs. You do find them sometimes here and there in lights, but this SST40 kind of looks like a XML2 if we have a look at it pretty close, which I can't show you guys, it's not really going to focus. But if you go online, if you look at the picture, you'll see it looks like a XML2, probably like a U4 bin because of the way it looks. So yeah, so basically the Jetbeam E40R has a maximum output of 1150 lumens rated by Jetbeam. My one, I've rated it at about 1420, somewhere around about there. It's got a coated metal reflector, which is basically a OP style reflector. You can see that there. a P-style reflector. It's got coated mineral glass, which is a fancy way of saying AR coated glass. So yeah, it's made out of aero grade aluminium alloy. It's hard anodizing type 3 military grade with a grey finish. So basically it's got the typical Jetbeam finish of grey that you find on all their smaller lights like the Jet MK1 and Jet MK2, and I really like this color. So I've got a lot of Jetbeam lights, and the anodizing after about 7 years on some of these lights is still fine, although they haven't been used like every day. I did EDC the MK1 and the MK2 for a few months each, and they still look like they're brand new. So this grey anodizing that they use on Jetbeam that Jetbeam use is probably the best anodizing that you can get on a flashlight, and I'll have to say that. Basically the Jetbeam E40R can run either on one 18650 or two CR123As if you have that option. So its length is 106.25 millimeters, so 10.6 centimeters. Head diameter is 26.7 mils, so 2.67 centimeters. Tower diameter is 25 millimeters, so 2.5 centimeters. Its weight is 67.2 grams without the battery, so it is a fairly small and compact flashlight, which is great to know because I've already told you guys like 500 times now. So a few other features that it has. It's pretty much made to be an EDC flashlight, although I do not personally EDC 18650 flashlight myself, because of its small and compact size. You know, it does kind of give you that option that you can EDC an 18650 flashlight now if you thought that they've always been a little bit too big. So it's got a built-in micro USB port. It charges at about 750 milliamps, so the included 2600 milliamp cell will take about 4 hours ish. So we'll have a look at the USB port here. So the USB port is protected by a rubber boot, as you can see there. Pretty stock standard USB port. Flips back down like so. Make sure to push it in place or else it won't be waterproof. Speaking of waterproof, it is IPX8 to 2 meters underwater, and it is drop resistant to 1 meter. So because it can use two CR123s, it will be using a buck driver. So basically its drop resistance isn't the best, but it isn't too bad. It's about average. So they reckon that the reflector is designed by a digital optics system. I did actually go online and look up digital optics system, and I couldn't find out who they are. I don't know what they mean by that, but I did actually Google that. It's got a max beam distance of 195 meters. So a few other features of notable mention would be the driver itself. Jetbeam usually have pretty good drivers. So as I was saying, this will be using a buck driver. It'll be a constant current driver. So, you know, you should be able to get max runtime of up to, it says 2 hours. They made a mistake there. They mean 270 hours on the 3 lumen mode. 3 lumens doesn't sound like much because it really isn't, but I guess in some situations that'll come in handy. So, you know, like a lot of people always tell me I don't like moonlight and I don't understand. And I kind of get it, you know, when you get up in the middle of the night and you want to go to the toilet, the moonlight mode isn't going to make you blind, which is a bonus. So this is a new generation of design of IC digital circuits and provides double intelligent protection for both LED and battery to prolong their lifespan and make much safer usage. Basically by that, Jetbeam means it's got reverse polarity protection, and it's got a step down so the LED won't get too hot. It's got a power indicator inbuilt in the side switch. So when you're charging the battery, this will blink green, and then once it's fully charged, it will go green. I haven't actually had this on low battery, so I don't know if it blinks on the low battery mode. So as I was saying, it's got a beam distance of 195 meters maximum. It probably wouldn't really make it 195 meters. It does get to about 100 meters. I'll show you guys when we test it later. Its peak beam intensity is 9600 CD. So it doesn't throw that far, and as I've already said, but I'll say it again, 1 meter impact resistant and IPX8 to 2 meters underwater. Basically it's got 4 modes plus a hidden strobe, rated by Jetbeam. It does have memory mode. What do I mean rated by Jetbeam? I mean literally it's got 4 modes plus 1 hidden. It does kind of have a feature which I'll show you guys now, which might be annoying to some people, but we will run over why they might have included it. So basically, when you want to turn the light on, it does have memory mode. You got to push and hold for 3 seconds. So wait, let's just count that. Off. So 1, 2, 3. There we go, and then it's on. So we'll cycle through the modes. So this will be high mode here, which is rated at 1100 lumens by Jetbeam for 2 hours, which means it does have a step down. Middle mode, which is 310 lumens, which should run for 4 hours and 5 minutes. Low mode, 35 lumens for 50 hours, and ultra low mode, which is 3 lumens for 270 hours. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut keys to get into low or high straight away. And you know, you do have the 3-second delay when pushing the side switch. So basically this side switch is completely flat, so if we roll it here, you know, it's not going to change up or down by itself. But Jetbeam kind of incorporated a slight delay when turning it on and off. You know, it doesn't have a lockout mode, so I can see this as a bonus, also as a negative. If you were ever in an emergency and you know you had to turn it on faster than 3 seconds, you could just go like, and it will go into strobe, which turns it on straight away, and then it will go back onto normal modes after being on strobe. So that is one little tip there. Honestly, I do not know why Jetbeam done that. Like, I know why they done it, so you don't accidentally activate the light, because it does get fairly hot. But yeah, you know, towel cap locking out is super easy on this light. If you just twist it that much, that should lock it out. See, I'm pushing it on and it's not turning on. So just by twisting it that little bit, will lock out the battery. Alright guys, so as I was saying before, it does have a step down mode. So when it's on its highest mode, so 1150 lumens rated by Jetbeam, it does actually step down after 3 minutes to 65% brightness, which is a little bit weird. It doesn't step down to like medium mode or low mode. It kind of makes its own mode, because 65% will be about 700 lumens, 750 lumens. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like, the mode spacing on this light, it actually works out well, because I think medium mode is a little bit higher than what they rated it. But like, it would be good to have another mode kind of in between the 1200, the 1150 lumens and the 310. A mode around about 600 lumens would make sense. But yeah, so if you kind of want to do access a mode that's around about 600-700 lumens, just leave it on high mode for 3 minutes and then it will step down. One thing to note is, on high mode, this light does get freaking hot. It does get really hot, so just be wary of that. Alright, now we'll take the light apart and have a look at it. So I've already shown you the USB charging there, so we'll undo the towel cap. It does actually towel stand fine, which is pretty cool. It's got the little lanyard loop there to connect the lanyard there. The knurling is fine, but it does offer a lot of grip, as you can see. The way the battery sits is a little bit weird. The towel cap kind of sits over the battery, like so, and then it screws on. You can see it does have a lot of threads there, so it does take a while to screw it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's pretty tight. So it does have quite a lot of threads. That'll kind of help keep out water too. And it appears to be a gold-plated spring on the back, so we'll take out the battery like so. Side by side, you know, you can see the size of it now, how small the Jetbeam E40R really is. I can't lower it because my tripod is already the lowest that it will go, unless I move it around. We'll undo the front end. So, strangely enough, the front part of the tube is actually anodized too. Usually they come non-anodized, but yeah, they decided to anodize it, which is fine. Here's the driver side here. I'm not sure if that's like a date code or a driver code or something. Wouldn't have a clue. This camera doesn't want to focus. So it says E40R ARO. I can't really get inside the head because it is glued on and I don't want to risk breaking it. But here you can see the Luminus SST40 a little bit better now. you can see it does look a lot like a Cree XML2. Basically, they are both 5x5mm LED dies. They are pretty similar, but the Luminus SST40 does handle more power better. Basically, Luminus rate the SST40 at 1800 lumens from the factory. So if Jetbeam was to run this light at 5 amps, which it almost is running at 5 amps when I tested it, it should put out, with the best bin, 1800 lumens. The LED in this is probably second best bin, so it's capable of doing 1600 lumens at that output. So basically, if I'm right, when I measured it, yeah, so as I was saying before, I really got cut off by my phone overheating. I think it's time to get a new phone now. Basically, yeah, so let's just say it should be doing around about 1600 lumens, and then by the time you include like light loss and whatnot, it should be outputting 1400 lumens, which is what I measured mine at. So it's quite a high output light, especially for its size. So yeah, I'll whack this all back together. I'm pretty sure that the review is pretty much done. I just want to show you guys a few more things, and then we'll go outside. Yes, so learn from my mistakes. If you buy one of these and you want to put the clip on, remove the O-ring first, because I tried to fit mine over the O-ring and it does not fit, and now it's kind of split, which is kind of a shame, but at least they give you spares. So it goes on like so. Then we'll tighten this down, easy peasy, and there it is. That's how the clip fits. Even when it's fully tightened, it's still fairly easy to move. It does sit inside that little groove there, which is good. It should help the light not get scratched, because it is a really awesome finish. So you can see the light's working fine. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Take off the O-ring before you try and put the clip on. Alright guys, so last but not least is the internal USB charging. As I said before, it charges at about 750 milliamp hours, so this Samsung 25R will take about 4 hours ish, maybe a little bit less because it's a little bit smaller cell. The included cell will take about the same, because it's pretty much the same sort of milliamp hour rating. So you can see it flashes green when it's charging, and when it's fully charged it will just be straight green and no more flashing, and then you know it's finished. That's pretty much the review done, so we'll take it outside and you'll see how bright this thing really is. Alright guys, now we've got the Jetbeam E40R on its lowest mode, which is rated at 3 lumens. You can see it is fairly bright. If we go all the way over here, you can kind of see it on the floor there. It does a pretty good job. Seems a lot brighter than 3 lumens to me, but yeah, I would have probably rated only like maybe 20 lumens, 15 lumens. So yeah, the other thing about this Jetbeam E40R is that it kind of starts on high and then goes high, medium, low and ultra low, or lowest, whichever that they call it. So it's kind of reverse. So yeah, so we're about 5 meters to the door or so. So yeah, more than enough light on the slowest mode. Now we'll crank it up. Alright guys, next up on the Jetbeam E40R is low mode, rated at 35 lumens, but you can see it does a really good job. Lights up pretty much all of my backyard actually, even all the way to the end. Even though this isn't the throwiest light, it still does a really good job of lighting up the backyard, so that's pretty cool. So I kind of got to cycle this in reverse, unless I would have started high and then done medium and then low. So yeah, next up we'll have high mode, or sorry, medium mode actually. Alright guys, now this is medium mode, rated by Jetbeam at 310 lumens, but you can see it is awfully bright. I think it's closer to 600-700 lumens maybe, because it's like, this looks like a high mode on a normal light, to be honest. Like, you guys can see it on the camera really well. Like, this could actually pass as high mode, but it's not. This is only medium mode, so yeah. Really bright. Alright, next up we'll try the high mode and see how it goes. Alright guys, now this is high mode. So as you can see, it is a super bright light. Very bright on high mode. You can see that my clothesline actually broke, so yeah, have to get that fixed. You know, it lights up the whole yard like so, all the way to so. And if you notice, I'm actually standing further back than usual because it's so bright. I would usually be a little bit closer, but I'm actually further back. I'm not sure how much you guys can notice, and I'm not sure how much editing the video will make this change, but this SST40, even though it's a cold white, it doesn't actually appear to be too cold. The tint is a lot more green than what you'd find on a Cree LED, so that's also one other thing to keep in mind, that although it's a cold white, probably like 6500K, it's actually not too bad compared to the usual cold Cree tints, which can be a little bit blue. This one's a lot more green. So we'll go to 100 meters and see how it goes. So it makes it there to 100 meters. I can see it fine in person. You guys should be able to see that on the camera pretty good too. Now we will compare it to a few lights and see how it goes. Alright guys, first up we've got the Jetbeam E40R versus the Sofren SP32. The Sofren's already on now, and that's the E40R there. So basically the Sofren is rated at about 1000 lumens thereabouts, and the Jetbeam's rated 1150, but you can see it is a lot brighter than the Sofren. Also the Sofren is using a XBL2 in a neutral white tint, and you can see that the tint variance isn't actually too bad between the two. You can definitely see a little bit more green in the SST40, but it doesn't look too bad overall. It doesn't look anywhere near as cold as a cold white Cree. Output wise, it absolutely blasted. So that's the SP32 there, and that's the E40R. Side by side again. Alright, next up we'll try it against the BLF A6 and see how it does. Alright guys, I was going to show you the BLF A6, but I think you guys have all seen it now like 1,000 times. I'm kind of trying to show you a few lights that would compete with this E40R. So right now we've got the Thorfire VG10S on. As I told you guys last time, it's running in direct drive on the highest mode using a Cree XBL2. So basically these two lights should be able to compete whereabouts with output. So the E40R is to the left and the VG10S is to the right. So output wise, I think they're pretty similar if we put them side by side. The VG10S might be a little bit brighter because it is running in direct drive mode, while I don't think the E40R is. The E40R is still using a buck driver, a constant current buck driver. So yeah. But they are very close in output, that's for sure. Alright guys, now we've got a Convoy S2 Plus with a cold white Cree XML2. I think it's a U4 bin running in direct drive mode. So I just want you guys to check out the tint difference between the cold white Cree and the cold white Luminus SST40. I built this light, but it's actually got a problem. It's a BLF A6 driver, but it doesn't want to change modes, so it's got a slight grounding problem. So to the left here is the E40R, and to the right is the S2 Plus. So if we look on the grass side by side, you can see that there is a slight difference in tint. It might be a little bit hard to see through the camera, but in person I can see that the Luminous tint is a little bit different. So that's the S2 Plus there, and that's the E40R. Output wise, I would say they're pretty close actually. It's a little bit hard to tell, but the E40R is starting to get really hot. Alright guys, I thought I'll mix up the lights there, because you know we usually do the same lights. The BLF A6 has been in like probably 50 videos now, but it is my go-to staple light. Anyway, you know, overall I think the Jetbeam E40R is a great buy. It can be bought for really cheap, and it's a very small compact EDC, 18650 flat flashlight. You know, you get a lot of bang for buck and a lot of output, and there's also potential to grow. You could easily push this LED to another 1000 lumens whereabouts. Alright guys, this has been Chris from Everyday Survival Gear, bringing you the review of the Jetbeam E40R. As always, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.